Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's doing great. I think you hear the bounce back now. I'm trying a stream on a bit of a different buffer size, so we'll see. I don't think it's going to work out. But we're not going to change it mid-stream, so we're going to try a stream at a different buffer size. I saw Elmirus had said something about the 256 being insane. I wasn't really sure what he meant on that. But we'll see. Maybe this is going to be too much. We'll see. Too much latency. We're going to figure it out. Listening to some Warbringer right now. Do you guys notice any latency between my lips and the speaking, etc.? If so, I might as well just start the stream over again. Do you notice a latency with me talking right now? As I'm just trying to figure out some things to make sure that everything sounds good. I've got the Mind Singer today, and behind this shadow we have Kobraa. Everybody, this is Kobraa. This is the brand new plugin from Aurora DSP that you're seeing for the first seas right here. That's pretty cool. I like that. I like that we're first seas today on this one. That's pretty neat. This is based on the Framus Cobra 3-channel amp. And if you're not familiar with that particular amp, let me know and we can discuss it. It is a since discontinued amp, I do believe, if I'm not mistaken. No latency on your end. Good. So we'll see. I wasn't really sure what Elmirus was saying on that end of things, honestly. So it was right at the end of the stream. So if he comes in, drops by today, maybe we'll ask. Ton Guitar, how's it going? Kyle, how are you? And welcome. And this is right here. This is Kobraa. I'm pretty stoked about Kobraa here. I'm going to turn down the tune so I'm not talking over everything today. I've got the Mind Singer hanging out, the Mind Singer Tempest. And it's tuned in D. And so far, this guitar has been a dream. And you might be thinking, well, if it's so amazing, why don't you just use it in every stream? I'm just like, yeah, I know, right? But still, I have other instruments that I love playing. And yeah, this guitar is insane. But at the same time, I have other stuff I love playing. So we're going to get going here. No. Nobody knows this amp. Ton Guitar, you are seeing this for the very first time anywhere. It's not released yet. It's coming soon. This is you guys are getting a pre-release sneak peek. As okayed by Daniel, by the way. Now I'm going to give you guys all the information on this. Information set. By the way, I'm giving one of these away too, folks. Giving one away today. So Kobraa, high gain amp simulation plugin. Kobraa is a plugin inspired by the legendary Framus Cobra amplifier, a popular high gain amp from the early 2000s. Later discontinued. Designed for guitars seeking aggressive tones, exceptional clarity. Kobraa delivers the raw power and versatility of its hardware counterpart. Features 3 independent channels, clean, crunch, and lead. AKA toxic, lethal, and fatal. There's also a bite switch, broader tone palette, built-in boost, Maxon 808X, baby. Wow. And there's also some a little bit of delay and verb in the background too. You like the dead kitty, huh? That's interesting. So let's see what they got for the internal effects here. We're going to turn on the shimmer, see what we got. Careful now. Careful. Careful. That shimmer gets real bright. Not really a way to edit that either. That's just enough. I figure that's not... I'm only using about 9-10% here. I don't think... Yeah, I'll let Daniel know on that one. Let's see though with the neck pickup. There's a bit of it's a little bit shrill on that one end. go to the screen, by the way. Gonna bring this over. And I'm listening to some After the Burial in the background. Hanging out today on a Saturday. It is the Elimination Chamber today. If you're a wrestling fan at all, you'll know what that is. If you're not, then you won't care. That's all right, too. As I've just recently become reinvigorated in wrestling, I attended the Montreal Screwjob. And if you don't know what that is, that probably sounded really weird. And after that, I just sort of lost, I don't know, I watched wrestling until about 2001 or 2002. And then I sort of just put it away for a while, watched sparingly. And then by about 2010, I wasn't even paying attention at all. I did not care anymore. And then recently it went on Netflix and I just kept seeing it. And I kept on thinking, wow, let's just watch one for the hell of it. And then I'm all in. Yeah, that's a bit, I don't know that I like the shimmer. But that is something that, again, this is not full release version. Where there can still be things that could be changed or fooled with. So it's not a huge deal right now. So let's turn off the effects. We're going to go just, you guys know that the clean tones sound pretty good. What happened to our tones here? Tunes. Oh, this song's mint. This is a great riff. Check out this like string skipping riff right here. Oh, yeah. That's a really cool. I like that riff. Guys, we always do riff breaks around here. And there's a cool riff. We're gonna take a quick break, admire the riff, and go back to work. All right, so the clean tone, there's admittedly not a ton happening for effects. It doesn't have to be. It's a very compact plugin that'll be on for $24.99 if I'm not mistaken. Hold on a second here. Xander Bananas. You're filling in for Nightmare Unit? I don't know who that is. That's pretty cool, though. If you're filling in for anybody, that's like... I've filled in for many bands. I have filled in for bands on vocals. Last minute into a tribute show. I've filled in for bands on drums. Several bands on drums when their drummers took breaks or otherwise or could not play. I filled in for bands on bass and one band on guitar. And so I know what that feeling is like. It's very hectic. It's very hectic, brother. Especially drums. For me, drums was the most paramount thing for me. I needed to nail every single beat. Especially with the drummer I was filling in for was like a really close friend and I really liked his style of drumming, but I wasn't at his level, but I forced myself to get to that level so that I could play each and every one of the songs exactly like he did. While he stepped away to actually pick fruit out in British Columbia. Every summer he'd go out to pick fruit, but the problem was there was a lot of punk shows that came through town. So this particular band, whose singer has now passed away, rest in peace, Camden. Rest in peace, rest in power. Just had to take a second there. When you're reminded of a friend that has passed. A good friend. When good friends pass away, guys, it can be like a lifelong thing. When you don't have to think about them so you might not think about them every single day, but when you do end up thinking about them, it can be kind of a moment. So yeah, intro price is $24.99, and I'm just going through the WhatsApp conversation here, guys. Sorry, forgive me. Yeah, that's what I've got for you. Eddie, what's going on? Xander Bananas, Mr. Nanners, no money. On Punk for no money, your money's on Punk for the Chamber. The screw job was more or less the definitive wrestling moment. I was there, man, in Montreal. I was living in Montreal at the time in my late teens. I moved away from home at I just turned 18 and moved to Montreal. And I actually lived with a band called, you guys might have heard of, called Slaves on Dope. You may or may not have heard of them. I lived with that band and also rehearsed in the same building as them and had my own band going. Eventually ended up as a member of a now very, very popular band whose guitar player uses a Framus. Very interesting. I don't talk about it a lot, but we can maybe get into it later. But anyways, I was living there and we got tickets. We were in the absolute balls nosebleeds, and we were literally in the direction of Bret Hart when he did the WCW. He was facing ours, like that area of the arena. So man, it was a real trip to have been there. And but now I think wrestling's getting fun again, man. It really is. It's getting fun. I'm not gonna lie, I get a little glow. I get up for watching it now. I don't understand it, but it's happening. So I'm gonna put a little compression in here for this because I mean obviously they're not going to include a compressor, but what we can do. Oops, that was really bad. Sounds really good. I still don't know if I got the height on this Jazz. What do you guys think about the Jazz neck and the height that it should be at? What do you guys think? One thing I know it doesn't sound great for cleans is the Evolution. So we're going to go right past what we're doing right now. I'm showing you guys. You guys see it does have a clean. We're going to go to the Lethal. Now this is like the main bread and butter channel of this amp, if I'm not mistaken. We're going to go Senseless Scream or Bite. If I'm not mistaken, Bite is just part of the amp. No? I can't recall. Yeah, Eddie, it's the Framus Cobra. Nice. It's got a mix of 2 IRs. But you know what else we did? What else we're going to try today? We have a few old school plugins that I've decided to dust off some stuff for this stream. It's going to be maybe a long boy, maybe a bit of a companion stream for the start of the Elimination Chamber event. What time does that start? Eastern time. Anybody? Yo, Myrus, you got to tell me. We were curious. Elmires, what did you mean about the 256 is insane? We were actually trying to... I was really curious. Is that... I wasn't really sure what you meant by that. That 256 is insane. I wasn't fully sure what you were in the meaning on there, but I'm curious as to what you were in the meanings of. So do tell. I am curious. Lucha Underground. That'd be cool. It's a mixed bag, Eddie. Lots of really cool stuff. A lot more blatant product placement stuff, though. Dude, Kyle, man, I can't tell you how many, like, that's another thing that got me a little bit to come back to wrestling was watching all the Dark Side of the Rings and the Mr. McMahon documentary, because obviously if you watch all the Dark Side of the Ring and if you watch all of that Mr. McMahon and then you watch some of the other stuff that's lingered, lots and lots of documentaries actually lingering in the search bar right above my head right here. Guys, that kind of brought me back as well. Like a lot of like, man, there's some depressing shit from back in the day. All those dudes it was just nothing but painkillers and steroids and painkillers and the other thing, the white substance. I don't think I can say that without getting thrown down some sort of search rabbit hole that no one will ever find it, age restricted or something. Anyways, whoops. You know, what do you mean it's such a latency? Like I'm actually on 512 right now. I'll tell you why, because I'm on 512 right now because I wanted to see if I could get a little bit further back. I want to make sure I've got room for the machine to breathe as well. And all the stuff that I'm, the audio software and everything else that we're doing. So what happened was I used to do it on the 128. And what happened was I was getting, every time I used like a neural DSP or something that was a bit more of a hog, I would get little blips and blurps, chirps and chirps and stuff like that. And I just decided to keep it cool and go at 256 after that. So yeah, I just chill on that. Chill on the 512. Honestly, I wanted to make sure I'm giving things room to breathe as well. But, you know, I'll tell you what. The next stream, I will fire it up at 128. Okay? How's that? And we'll see if it's smooth sailing as like it used to be. Daniel's in here. Hey, man, what's going on, Daniel? How are you? So anyways, we've got Daniel in the house. Daniel is Aurora DSP, so welcome, Daniel. Nice to see you. All right, let's see what we got here under the hood. So in the IR section is the simple fader between two. I'm going to bring this back just a pinch so I'm not shouting over this. All right, so we're going to bring back the mids just a tiny bit. 32 or 64. I'm not sure that my buffer size... Well, let me discuss that later, because honestly, if you've got tips on that, I'm not a wizard. So, yeah, sure. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it that down crunched like that, but we'll see. I don't really listen to the latency as much though. Like, I can hear it in this stream. When I'm at 256, I can't even tell. It's very minuscule. Right now, I can definitely hear it, but I also wanted to experiment and make sure that, again, I've got a pretty nice machine. But when you're running all like the OBS and you're running everything else, I want to make sure, like, OBS is heavy. It's not easy on a machine, and my machine is fast, but I don't know if it's so fast that I want to be using all the stuff I'm trying to do there, plus this, plus that. And the other thing, you're talking to a guy that's for the most of my life worked with machines that were slow and barely capable. So this machine being quicker, sure, I'm up to doing a couple of tests to see if I can get a much better latency going. Yeah, I know, dude. 512 is a bit much, and I'm noticing that now, but it'll be the only stream at 512 that I do. I just want to, I like to experiment as well, but like when I went down, I also noticed that it just wasn't, I was getting the little glips and glurps, but also on top of that, we also thought that's what it was. When we actually figured out later that the sample rate, that I had screwed something up in OBS, and it was screwing with everything we were doing. I think it was maybe before you started watching our streams, just before, if anything, maybe a tiny bit of overlap, but we had this thing where we were having non-stop audio problems. And I was thinking that was probably one of the things that was going wrong. So maybe that's one of the reasons that we ended up correcting that buffer size or the block size to begin with. So you know what? Next stream that I'll do something a bit different, and we'll go from there. Daniel, how are you? Daniel's also, thanks so much, Daniel, for giving us a plugin to give away today and giving us a pre-look at this. One thing I went and did today, by the way, I went and downloaded all of my Lancaster audio / Rosen Digital. And so I'm going to go through some of that with Kobraa as well. And I think there's a couple of Framus IRs. Daniel, what cabinets did you use for this? What cabinets and mics, out of curiosity, stuff that will get the inside deets that we don't get in the manual. Now we're going to turn on the Screama. Oh, yes, we did. Going to bring down a little bit hot. Thought I brought it down, but... And Daniel, I don't know if you've seen this guitar yet. This is the new sponsor guitar. This is from Meinzinger. I don't know if everybody has seen this bad boy. This is the Tempest. I'm very proud of Tempest. This is the nickname is Grapes. The work on the back of this neck, it's sad that I'm only the one that gets to stare at it. But man, the work on the back of this neck, and what an instrument. I'm just so happy with it on so many levels. Deal. you know what? We'll swap that around. We'll go to 48. And how does that work? Okay, forgive this, the idiocy of this, but how, curiously, how does that work with IRs? If you're running it at 48 and you have a ton of IRs that are at 44, maybe that's a silly question. Maybe I should know that, but do tell. How does that affect? And that may be a newbie question, but we don't know everything. This thing sounds crushing. Badass. V30 and DV77 is a killer combo. The guitar looks sick. Thank you so much, Myers. I really do appreciate it. It plays sick too. And it's the same general idea of the next build that I'm going to be doing with Mindsinger. Do check out Mindsinger. It's probably the most affordable, handmade, no CNC. It's going to be like $2,500 US, gets you the entry-level build. Where does this lie in that respect to that? I would say that this would kind of be more along the lines of $3,100 US, but $2,500 US for a handmade by just like a single human being in a wood shop with mostly nothing but hands, guys. Like CNC is only used for the fret alignment, the fret layout, and before he lays the frets in so that it's exact. That can be a really time-consuming thing to do, so going to CNC for that, as I understand, is a really good idea. This instrument just makes me happy in so many different ways. However, I do have a new pickup. This is just a current set that is just holding the place for the new set. I'm going to be using the Aurora Tone ultraviolet neck pickup with the Singularity bridge pickup is going to be the setup for this guitar, and boy, do they look neat. If you guys saw the very first stream with this guitar, it looked insane. So I can't wait to get those back in here. They're brilliant, like pearl of white with gold poles. They look incredible. And this guitar is super fun. Let's get back to the start of the show today, which is just this bad boy right here. His home build 412 oversized Mills acoustic. Oh, cool. DV77 V30. Wow. Again, thanks so much for the help. You know, Myers, there are things I don't know when it comes to, there are things I don't know. And one of those things is getting sample rates and everything all aligned for the best possible product. So I appreciate that. We all grow a little bit at a time. And I mean, I don't think the quality is by any means bad right now, but yeah, it'd be cool if we could figure something out. Dude, that sucks. That no bells thing is actually pretty cool. It's more of I find it's like a great, I always forget about it. If you guys are curious, there is a cool, it's an interesting pedal. It's out there kind of like a tube screamer, but it's not a tube screamer. I don't know what happened to that plugin. Don't know about what's going on with that company, and they haven't really released much of anything in a long time. But I do have their old school IRs today. And there's one particular IR that I want to go and dip into real quick. Actually, let's really quickly listen to the blend we have right now between the EGA and just my standard setup here. Let's turn the IR off. And this is a blend of an Angle 412 and this weird ass little 1x6. It's very, very odd combination. This is all the way to the Angle, and we need to get these goose up a little bit. A little bit dark, so we like to roll this back. A little bit too much. Just like the... That's one thing I love about Daniel's, these smaller, more compact plugins. These always play nicely with outside IRs. And we're going to go through more of them as we go. But for now, let's just stick with what's on board. Admittedly, I feel like the mid control could use a little more bite. But beyond that, and the little bit of, as we were talking, I don't know if Daniel, if you were here, but in the effects, the shimmer has a bit of a tail that's a little on the shrill side. And as we'd explained, though, this is not released fully yet. You guys are seeing it here first, and I'm really excited about that. Daniel, is bite part of the amp, or is bite the unified preamplifier? I'm curious. Doesn't matter with IRs and Reaper. Cool. Awesome. Xander Bananas, see you later, dude. Appreciate you. I don't know about the no bells, by the way. Good luck in your show tonight, Xander. By the way, the Lancaster Audio releasing a cool IR loader soon. Hopefully in just a few days. Is there a reason you're telling us that? Daniel? Man, this is the fucking chonky boy. Let's hit bite. It's so good. Like, I'm already really liking the bite on this. Let's hit the screamer and the bite. This is thrashy. No problem, Elmira. I'm gonna hit you up with that. Real easy. Mute. It works great. Yeah, works great, man. Neat. I love these little things that, see, this is the fun part of what we do here, guys. People like Daniel, Luca, and the developers that have the few extra minutes to join us in here. We appreciate you. Thanks so much for joining us, Daniel. I think Daniel might be one of the busiest human beings I know. Daniel. Sounds huge. That's a great sounding riff. That Pumpkins riff sounds great with that. Second half of this stream, I'm going to be pulling out the big boy. I'm going to be pulling out the Harley Benton JA baritone, the big beefy boy that is tuned down to E, low E. All right, that was making some interesting noise. I thought that was part of the song. It's just really angry at me. That's okay. We can do that. But the gate is, there's also a gate right here too. Boom. better. This is such a weird song, but for whatever reason, I like it. Only guitar music on here, but boy, oh boy, do we have an eclectic mix. You guys can find the mix on Spotify. I know Spotify being what it is. Mostly smaller artists on there anyhow. Dude's got great tone, man. Talking about pumpkins, very, very. I was a bag over my head when I always thought that he used a hyper fuzz. I was convinced that he used a hyper fuzz back in the day, but apparently on Siamese Dream, as I was discussing his tones recently with BJ Russell, he just used a fuzz pedal. Very interesting. Also, I hear about these amps, these Grace, or these, Karstens amps. I hear about those things a lot. All right, let's go up. We're going to go up to fatality. No, it's just fatal, but still, that's kind of fun. Fatality. Whoa, 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 big fella. Whoa. I want to try this. There's one particular pack. By the way, I've got some classic Chugz loaded up for today. I've got some. I promised you guys some randomness for potentially later in the stream today, but it may all be mostly about Kobraa. We'll see. We've got the Mercurial Audio SS11X, the Aurora DSP La Boga Chainsaw Distortion. We've got the Vitar Amps Jambi. Free and actually quite shockingly good, and the often on sale for $5, $10. I've seen it as low as $3 at one point years ago. One of the coolest and most underrated and forgotten hidden gems in all of Amp Sims. The Igor Nembrini produced and coded and programmed, etc. What you want, whatever you'd like to call it. This is BX Rock Rack. This is old. And it's still awesome. It's got the metal BX. It's got a JCM 800. It's got a Roland Jazz chorus. It's got an Angle E530 and a Mesa Boogie all built into one amp, one plugin. This is actually pretty damn cool. It's very, very underrated. It still holds up. It's got the shred knob, which is super fun. That we'll definitely get into later, and we're also definitely going to get into the chainsaw distortion. The rest, who knows? But for starters, we're going to make sure we get to more of this badass right here. And for those of you that have never heard of the Framus Cobra, the Framus Cobra is just one of those amps that sort of like left its mark fairly quickly on the metal and the industry in general. Allow me to close this window, folks. All right, that's done. Very strange. All right, let's go. Really? The light version's free. Yeah, the light version, the Rock Rack player or whatever it's called, that's free for sure. But you can get it so cheap. And if you ever see it cheap, or really any of their guitar stuff cheap, all the stuff at Brainworks, guitar and bass carries a lot of quality. Also, while we're on the topic of quality across the entire line, make sure that you guys check out everything from Aurora DSP. a vastly, at first it was a lot, there was a lot of metal, admittedly, mostly metal. And now the company's also doubled down on making sure that their metal is metal, and then also branching out into some other areas as well. And I feel like this new year of 2025 is going to be a big year for Aurora DSP. Just on some of the stuff I happen to be privy to, I'm salivating at some of the things. I cannot wait to showcase some of the amazing things coming down the pipe from Aurora DSP. I absolutely cannot wait. There's so much headroom in these controls, like so much headroom. Don't go and like put it up to 7 because you're used to like putting your treble to 7, because it might be more than you bargained for. Me, I like to just live around here somewhere. Turn on the bite as well. Wonderful. Is this a model or a profile? Daniel? Is Daniel? If Daniel's still here, Daniel, I'll let Daniel talk about his modeling. He does things a bit of a different way. I think every developer does things a different way at this point. Yeah, let's go find a Framus cab. That'd be a cool idea. I'm all in on that. All right, so let's just go. I'm gonna go look for one single IR that I kind of just want to use, and I'm actually kind of interested right now in the Gens-Benz 212 from, and there's just 3 in the pack. Do you? Man, that's cool, man. That's really cool that you have one of those. I know a few people that had them. Okay, so there was the Framus Cobra and the Framus Dragon, right? What do you mean, the Gens-Benz? I'm not really sure what was in the Gens-Benz. I know I had one, and that's one thing I will never say. I'm not a speaker expert. One thing, I'm definitely not a speaker expert. Never claimed to be, never was, never has been. But the Gens-Benz 212, ported 212, was the greatest 212 cabinet I've ever heard. If you stood in front of it with your back to it and with a real big beefy head on top of it, like a rectifier or something of that ilk, you would feel like there is a 412 behind you. There is that much air moving and that much, you'd be like, holy shit. Everybody that heard that cabinet, and I mean everyone that I let try it, was just floored by it. And those cabinets are available for nothing. They're still available on Craigslist for peanuts. I don't understand how those haven't become like extra, extinct valuable at this point. I've heard that The bass cabs and the 412 cabs are also insane. A friend of mine has the 412 ported Gens-Benz bass cab, and it does sound fantastic in his rig, but he's also a fantastic bass player, so he can make anything sound good. Holy cow. This guitar is one thing about it is a dark sounding instrument. It does need a brighter set of pickups. But I'm working on it. We're working on it. Okay, so there's a few things in here I wouldn't mind trying with this. I've got the PRS Stealth Cab. I also kind of want to try that. Not as into that. Not for this. Not a matching up the way I'd want it. Okay, let's see what we got. Oh! Oh! Ow! Oh, Myers, did you get to tell your Line 6 Rev story yesterday? Hey, there's a better match. Let's go back up for a second. Yep. Yep. Wow, that's not bad at all. This song is called Tyrants. Fucking great, good times yesterday, man. I watched a little bit of that stream back. That was a gooder. Let's go back to my pretty face for a little bit. Now that we're comfortable with what we are hearing. I almost like it sometimes when plugins only offer just like a limited but yet very versatile and full IR selection. Oh, riff break. Oh, riff break. All right. By the way, those THU clean tones this morning, oh, my goodness gracious. Those clean tones out of that Rockman thing this morning, are you kidding? I've never been so blindsided by such an incredible clean tone in my goddamn career in this. I was sitting there not expecting anything. I clicked it thinking I was going to get Def Leppard, and all of a sudden there's this clean tone smacked me in the face like a full steam Mack truck, and like one of the flat face ones from like the 80s, you know, when you had to tip the whole cab forward to work on the thing. One of those. That's how it hit me. Oddly specific. Wow, what I wouldn't give to be able to play guitar that way. Brent Mason is the most recorded guitar player in the world. As far as I understand it, he is a very, very high-priced session guy in Nashville, and he is recording constantly. Man. Anyways, what I was saying about that, the reason I like that about some Sims having not, like, you know, like just a modest versatile kind of scenario for guitar, for the cabinet section. What I like about that is just having the ability to, it makes me want to go and just sniff around, stoop around a little bit. Where do I have a Framus cabinet? Where do I have a Framus cabinet? Where? I know I have one, but where do I have one? Would it be under Lancaster? No, it's not. I thought for a second it would be, but I do have it. Is it in my old school stuff here? Let's see. Framus Dragon 212. No, Framus. Let's try this old school. Ooh, of course that's super loud. Good thing I give it a bump. I don't even know who that's from or who made it. That's a really old IR, but I remember having some solid Framus IRs at one point. Gosh dang it. I remember it well. And it's not that one. In any event, we're going to move along. I'll test it with the old fave. Got to test it with the EGA today, as I kind of did earlier, but not fully. My favorite IR of all time. Damn it. Nope. Probably didn't play that right, but what are you going to do? Gosh, this is a fun sim. And I admittedly posted couple of screenshots of this into our group text last night with a strict confidentiality warning, of course, as usual in our group chat. And it definitely got the pot stirred in a little bit. People like, oh, what's this? What's this? What's this? What's happening? Man, delightful. Which channel do you guys like better, Fatal or Lethal? Oops, IR on. So it sounds great. Let's go through some of these other random IRs. I have such a hard time enjoying. There's so many companies I enjoy when it comes to IR development, but the one company I just cannot enjoy more is Dr. Bonkers. There's just so many great selections in the files here. Turn that up a tiny bit. I like this is a nice rock sounding amp as well. Wonderful. I'm pretty sure that Mick Mars was a Soldano guy for a bit as well. Was he not? I think he was for a bit. This was a Soldano cabinet. This is a solo 412 from Dr. Bonkers. And you guys know I'm a big fan of his stuff, and I don't hide it. Why would I hide it? Some of the great stuff, but at the same time, we all know that there's plenty of great impulse response developers out there these days. I'm gonna head over to ML Sound Lab and check out this guy right here. This is that Mix 77. Kick ass. Wait, what? What do you mean? Like, what do you mean? Like right now? Oh, the catharsis. Nice. Somebody saw that in my folder. Nice. It's still a fun impulse response to use. Like, go ahead and throw that into any. And well, we'll do it after. Right now, we're just checking this pack out. But still. You know what I'm going to do, guys? Because the stream is... I'm just going to make the first half of the stream Kobraa, and the second half of the stream will go to the other stuff, and I'll just keep using the Tempest here, and I'll get on here sometime either later tonight or tomorrow with the big boy. It's probably a better idea anyways. Aggressive. That's the one I liked yesterday, I think, right? Get some more low end there. Oh. Let's go back to Fatal. Yeah, buddy. Nice. I love the evidence. I got to catch up here. Agreed, Tyler. Practice and I will be what? Can you put an octave on this tone for shits and giggles? Like an octaver? I don't know that do I have one? I guess I have the quinta. I don't know that I can do that right now. Framus Dragon would be amazing. Why does that exist as well? Did you seriously make that one too? Bro, you gotta send them both together. My mind automatically goes to Silverchair when I think Soldano. For real? That's the band? For real? All the names that have people, all the huge list of names that have used the SLO 100 and the name you think of as Daniel Johns? Very interesting. I've never heard that before. I may never hear it again, but I'm glad you said it because that means we're all very different individuals that have different ears and different tastes and different flavor preferences. That's pretty neat. Nope. I'm gonna turn that off first. That's clear, yeah. Man, I'm really enjoying this. Man, it definitely needs a pickup with a little bit more top end and a little bit more of a scoop. There's like this dark and mid, and there's like a bit of a mid bump in this guitar that it's really it's definitely not the type of guitar that you can just slap any pickup in and have it sound rad. But it's the type of guitar that if you find the right pickup, it is going to sound like the planets have aligned, in my opinion. I think that where the evolution is close, it's still kind of dark for this guitar, but I think I'm on the right track. Pedro wants to hear the catharsis impulse response. Everybody knows the catharsis cabs. Everybody should. These are, from what I remember, louder. It's so old and it still sounds so good. Who'd have thunk the catharsis cabs would still be kicking ass like 15 years later? My goodness gracious. Beautiful. It's just beautiful. Can you roll down the volume and show me how it cleans up? Sure can. Absolutely. 100%. I can do that. Probably turn my gate off, though. This is the higher gain channel, though. That's pretty low. But it sounds pretty good, all things considered. I mean, we're not... This is one of those amps, there's just not much out there based on this amp. So it's nice to have, for me, it's nice to have anything we can get based on it. And this is it's a nice version. It's simplistic. Sure, it's simplified, yes. And the controls, everything has been simplified and condensed. Yes, absolutely. So is it going to be your top L1 one-for-one replica? No, it's not going to be a one-for-one replica, but is it going to give you some of the signature characteristics of a fucking, actually many of the signature tone characteristics of an absolute killer amp? Yes. Yes, it will. So I'm very excited to be able to do that. I can't wait for more. He says that, did you honestly, did he mean actually that the dragon was available as well? See you later, dude. Thanks for dropping in, Bo. Actually, did I know Bo was here? I didn't even know Bo was here. Daniel, thanks for dropping in, man. I appreciate you. So today's winner is going to be Kyle Hunter. Kyle Hunter is going to win today's plugin. And this is the Framus, based on the Framus dragon. This is the, not the dragon, sorry, Kobraa. And this is Kobraa. And there's two A's, Kobraa. Gotta say it like that. You can't just say, this is the Aurora DSP Kobraa. You can't do that. It's gotta be Kobraa. Don't forget, though, we Ton Guitar and everybody else, we will be doing some giveaways during our 100th stream. And all through the March break, I'm going to be doing some small giveaways. We're going to be doing everything bundles and things of that sort, but we'll be doing some fun things throughout that. There are going to be a few different developers that have been very, very nice to offer us some fun things for our 100th episode of the Amp Sim show. And I cannot wait to share that with you guys. This has been a first half of Kobraa. In the second half, we're going to go over some random old school chuggers, and we're going to get to some fun things. We're going to get to our usual discussion of nonsense, and just have some good times and have some fun. Talk about things on a Saturday evening / Saturday late night for some of you all, as it must be quite late there. And by the way, Kyle, just get to me. You have my email address. If you don't, it's the ampsimuniverse, the ampsimuniverse at gmail.com. And if you're here with us, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Yeah, I did. I think it was Ton Guitarra, actually, Elmiris. Won your prize, if I'm not mistaken. Because I remember in the next stream, I was like, hey, man, you left out your prize. And you're like, no, I gave it away. I was like, oh, yeah, you did. And I did give it away. It got given away. Problems on the Wi-Fi. All right, guys, I'm going to take a quick 2 or 3 minute break. I'm going to come back. And we're going to go through some kind of old fun plugins. And we're going to go through a freebie, maybe a couple of freebies, and it'll be fun. But the first half, my initial thoughts on Aurora DSP Kobraa, about an 8 out of 10. A very, very solid, nailed down 8 out of 10. And for a plugin that's only going to cost you $24.99 out of the gate, I would say that an 8 out of 10 is a pretty damn good score. Okay, and this one's going to come out within the next couple days. Is it tomorrow or the day? I'm not exactly sure the day it's coming out. Cannot wait for you guys to get your hands on this. And some of the other fun, affordable goodies. By the way, I mean, Aurora DSP has plugins for every budget. By the way, it's a bunch of free stuff that they have over there. They've also got plugins in the majority of price ranges, sales constantly, and a lot of stuff for everyone. And like I said, this year is going to be a really big year for that company. They have some big stuff coming out, guys. I can promise you. And thank you to Daniel. It's just super fun to get to work along with Daniel occasionally on small or larger projects and be able to, beta test and get to bring stuff to you guys. And he's just always been so generous and so supportive of everything that we do here. Even when it was in the Honest Amp Sim Reviews days, I can remember it well. The very first plugin that we ever, communicated on was Mammoth. And from there, he's just been an absolutely wonderful friend and wonderful person to deal with at every turn. So thanks for that, Daniel, every step of the way. I appreciate you. So guys, I'll be back 2 or 3 minutes and we'll go through some more fun stuff. All right. Cheers. All right, guys, what's going on? How are you? There'll be a noise in the background here. We're going to be going. She's boiling some water. She's sick. Lots of tea is going to happen. All right, guys, we are going to just check out some random old classics. Some of them not super old, some of them fairly old, one of them free. You guys can go and check out Jambi anytime for free from VTAR, Windows only. But this guy right here is one of the most functional and useful amp sims I've ever had. There's no power section. It's just a preamp, and there are IRs, colored IRs, and non-colored IRs. Colored meaning that the tube cut, sorry, how do I say this? Well, basically the tube voicing is baked right in because they use a tube powered, or they'll just use the amp itself to shoot the impulse response, and therefore it ends up getting baked in, as opposed to using a transparent power source where it does not give you the tube quality, which is now kind of the market standard. But when IRs first began, many of the IRs from back in the day are colored, as well as a lot of stuff from Bogren Digital has the, pardon me, has the power amp from the various amps baked right in. And you might be thinking how that matters. Well, it can kind of tend to create a different vibe if you're using them with an amp sim that has a coded full power section, tube power section. You could be kind of coloring that in a way that would take some of that replica factor away, authenticity away, maybe. But in this case, we don't need a power section. It's very, very low on resources. So I like to use this when I'm tracking for something to hear instead of just listening to a clean DI, which is fine. I actually know people that like to do it that way because it makes their playing more precise, but not for me, thank you. This is just something very, very easygoing and chill. And there are a lot of presets in here, fun presets. I'm going to go with just default metal here for a moment. Ric Flair Victory Strut. I think Daniel probably is pieced. That's okay, because it's very late in Poland. It's very late where a lot of you guys are, so I appreciate you guys watching me this late. Right now, I'm going to go through some random impulse responses. I'll give you guys what's available on board here first. I'll show you guys some tones. Also, a nice selection of pedals built right in. Gives you the TS808, 808 hot mod, TS7, TO7 mod, hot, and a mod, and the Greed Smasher, which is my personal favorite. My favorite. And Greed Smasher is based on a Mesa Boogie Grid Slammer, if I'm not mistaken. And let's just chug our way to freedom here a little bit. Gonna feel like a bit more verb just for fun. Just a tiny bit more, you know? Yeah. Give me some of that. Give me some of that right now. So this thing can kind of do anything. It does crushing metal, as we can hear right here. And that's not even crushing yet. Check this out. That is pretty beefy. If you guys have heard this band before. And we've got a couple of shift switches. One is for the crunch. Here's for the lead. It'll give you a nice little bump. And this is just being used with there's this nice little IR collection. Let's go to the screen. This is, if there's anything in here you'd like to hear, there's a bunch of stuff in here. Leon Todd, Simone Hammer, Morton, there's some interesting stuff in here. A lot of it sounds really good. But in the meantime, I'm just going to disable that and go with my own selection. And that way we can just go through some IRs and test some things out if we want to. Get a little crazy if I want to. This is the beauty of streams like this. I love going through just random signal chains and making fun little stuff to do. Hey, hey. Wowzers. Let's get rid of that bump. And then it'll be perfect, I think. Is it going to be perfect? It's going to be perfect. Yes, we're there. The demo pack? I actually was just going to reach out to the person and see if they would mind hooking us up and letting us do some nice spread of content. But yeah, I'll go grab that demo. I didn't grab it, but the guys did tell me about it. Did anybody go grab it? Eddie, did you? Eddie is the IR man, but Eddie is also very busy, so I'm not sure if he did or did not. Eddie, did you grab it? Did you? BJ? BJ. Low code. Trying to find some code word for you right now, BJ. So, yeah, trying to find a good code word just for funskis right now. This sounds really good. So I'm using the Mercurial Audio. This is usually available pretty cheap. I'm not sure what it's at right now, but this thing is just such a tone machine. And I'll show you that in maybe I could do literally a whole 2-hour stream on this thing because there's just so much inside this simplistic little machine. Also, if you go into setup, it's strange. I don't know that it should take this much doing. I think there should be a simple right here. See this section, this little open section right here. I feel like their model A and B switch should be right there because if you go to A, it's actually entirely a different bag. I'm not sure exactly what the difference is, but I know that, yeah. I do know, what I do know here is that they are different. Don't know how exactly they are different, but here we are. Yeah, I knew that was going to be a little bit loud. This guitar has, again, there's that bit of a mid bump there that I have to scoop a bit out. It's a bit too little. It's different sounding to me altogether. Pardon me, cat hair. I do like this model better, but I'm just letting you guys know that it does exist. It does exist. And you can just lock that back up and she gone. But I think maybe there should be somewhere. I realize that this section is kind of taken up by the graphic, but there should be something that's a little easier than having to go to setup to switch pedals. I don't know. I think it should be easier than that somehow, some way. Like over here, or just have a switch or like a something. I don't know. Have something else. Because that's kind of a key feature. Pardon me. Awesome. So this is, again, Tone Machine. And if you don't have it, you should go get it. And if I wanted to switch now, I can switch to Crunch. No, that's clean. So I could go, that's right. I go this way, and it goes to, there's Clean, there's Drive. Okay, so now it's Crunch, right? Yes. So now we're on Crunch. And again, it's very beefy. This guitar has a beefy low end. So I'm going to have to accommodate for that. Like you would with any switch between any guitar, really, though. Now, the cool thing about Crunch is it's got the bright switch. It's also got a... So we're going through some different IRs. That's just the Gens Band's very dark IR. We'll get out of there and get something. Let's just go to, again, I should probably just stick with faves for now. And I'm just going to build. I've been trying to add some stuff to this folder, but it is what it is. Having some fun with IRs is always a good time. But today I'm looking for something specific, looking for something different, and I don't know what. Finding something, I don't know. Maybe we'll go with this, the Jesus. Let's see. It says perfect. I don't know about perfect. Okay. Nay. That's a bit better. It cuts a bit. See, again, I find that this pickup is very dark for this instrument. Whoops. Let's go to the chat. You should have said, man, you dropped the ball there. You should have said moderny. Vintagey. It was vintagey and like moderny, man. Reminds me of that part of Bill and Ted's where he's like, things are like, things are bigger, like smaller. It's that voice. You gotta say it like that. You had, Jesus, man, you've had so many sick pedals and sick amps. I wish. Way she goes. Gonna get to Jambi now. And no, this thing is a bit of a, this thing looks intense. And if you've never used any of Vitar's stuff, it's a bit of a different bag. You're gonna have to use your own stuff. It's a bit of a different, it's a different bag altogether. So we're gonna just kind of chill with some of this stuff as we go. And you're going to be like, wow, you're getting that tone out of that? Are you serious right now? And yeah, that's the craziest thing about this, is that the tone is coming from what is a free and seemingly very unique kind of deal here. I'm going to shrink the verb a little bit again here. Yeah, so this thing rips. It just rips. And now if you want, you can add in a pedal. Why not add in a pedal while you're at it? And we'll use the... What are we going to use today? This one? Let's go with this one. This was one of my favorites. See, to me, that must already be boosted. It already sounds boosted. Sounds like I just double boosted. No, we don't need no double boosting around here. Rips. Little out of tune. This thing has actually been staying in tune remarkably well since I just broke it into just, I don't know, acclimated it. Why are you not doing things for me here? What is happening? Huh? Get in the chat. Tell me what you guys think about Firefly guitars. Tell me what you think about Firefly. Do you think... Where do you guys think that Chinese manufacturing is at this point? It seems like being sort of the joke of the world when it came to guitar manufacturing kind of pissed somebody over there off a little bit. And they're like, oh, fucking sure about that? All right. All right, we're going to fucking... You want to do this? We'll do this. I'll tell you who's going to do this. We're going to do this. And all of a sudden, pow! There's all these incredible instruments coming out of China. Oh, shit, this sounds good. It sounds good. I need a different IR, though. This is not what giving me what I need. Give me what I need. Ow! You give it. I want it. Let's do it. Ooh! I fell out. Oh, my hand can fall off. Oh, it don't fall off. Oh, hand don't fall off. Never had a dumble. I should fucking hope not. Ooh, yeah! I should sure hope not that you haven't had a fucking Dumble. If you said that you had a Dumble, for starters, nobody in here would believe you. That'd be like saying that Superman came to my house to use the bathroom on his way to save the world. That would be as believable. I understand this amp was produced and made with the idea of being a kind of an homage to Tool. I don't know, but man, is it magnificent. Just pick any note you want and alternate pick in that little box. Never mind. What? My brain was like, what's that? Did you just tell them you could do something proficiently after doing it mildly proficiently? Well, let's change that. Fuck you, brain. Why always been working against me and shit? Man, last time I used this, I got stuck on this as well. This sounds and responds and feels good, this thing. Wow. Wow. I have no idea what you just said. I think anytime someone says one of those like Fergrian demonium, oh my God, I've gone cross-eyed. I said, it's over for me. Tell me, Mom, I love her. Like, that's it. I just play riffs. I don't, like, I'm the least music schooled person you will ever meet in your life. And I've learned the majority of the instruments just by most of the things I've learned by ear, just picking up through guitar magazines or videos or whatever else. But a lot of, just a lot of noodling. I like to noodle. I'm mostly a riff guy, but I am definitely the least school guitar player you will ever meet in maybe your entire life. Wow, this thing is super fun. Chuggity chugs. Do the Zach Wild version for y'all. I remember how offended the first time, I think it was about 15 years old, and I got that louder than live or louder than is that fucking Aussie box set, that the live box set that had like the actual speaker material on the front of it. I can't remember what the actual thing was called. I remember getting it and hearing the Zakk Wylde version of Crazy Train and hearing that and you're just like, stop that, doing it. Don't need that. I don't need, it made me uncomfortable. It was just, I'd like to hear the... I don't want it. Leave me alone. I love Zakk Wylde. I love Zakk Wylde. I'm just saying in that particular instance when I was just, you know, it wasn't like now where you just, everybody knows that everything about every live show ever. It was just like you had live albums. If you've never seen the band before, you had live albums. That all you had. And live VHS became a thing and live DVDs later on. But like prior to that, like only the hugest bands, like only live performances you'd see were the ones you saw with your own eyes, or, you know, stuff like I think I saw the Woodstock DVDs or the Woodstock VHS tapes when I was a kid. Mr. Crowley. Wait. I can't remember off the top of my head now. That was one song. I don't know a lot of Ozzy, and I actually said one of the last streams, I'm thinking we're going to really have to do something to change that. Little Ed Soon on one string there. Bummer. Stop it. Why you gotta bail on me, bro? Why you gotta bail on me, bro? Just shut down after, like, I know, you're just saving batteries, bro. It's okay. You're like, it's okay. Shh, I didn't mean to yell at you. This new tuner is fan-fuckily-tastic. I get this song in my head, but not this version of it. I get the... This is my favorite part of the whole song. And you're like, fuck yeah. Play that fucking song. I think it's one of the very first songs as a kid that I can ever remember having in my head and not being able to get it out. It's like the earliest I can ever think of that happening to me and just being like, you know, I remember being like, Mom, I can't get this song. It's always in my head. Like, I just can't stop. This was the song, the fucking Cantina song. This amp sim. Jambi has become one of my favorite amp sims, and it is free, and you can go get this from Vitar Amps right freaking now. If you want to, we're gonna say goodbye to Jambi. Sorry, buddy, but just it's been super fun. I kind of want to stay, no, but hey, Rock Rack's here, and Rock Rack, man, if you never used Rock Rack, I'm just gonna go right by the impulse responses, because I do not give a fuck about them, because this window is the worst. Yeah, the impulse responses are actually really decent in here, and they do give you a nice little blend, but you know what? We're not going to worry about those. We've got our own right now. In order to get it there, you just simply have to, usually the list is a lot longer and tougher to deal with, but we're going to go from here and see what's up. Now, we're just going to turn off anything that, they give you a lot of really fun things to work with, but you don't need all of it, so I don't need any of that. Don't need any of that, but yeah, shred knob, maybe we need you. We'll see. Okay, shred knob down. Now we're going to start with the Metal BX666. This was something that Igor Nembrini created just on his own, like an in-house kind of thing. And kind of an in-house thing when he was with Brainworks prior to Nembrini Audio. This thing rips. All of these amps are really, I recall them being really good. We'll see if it stays that way. Let's see what's up. Okay, this sounds promising so far. I actually do want to boost this. And we got to some pretty savage tone pretty darn quick with this thing. It's starting to show its age maybe a little bit, but not a whole lot. It's a great song. Turn up the shred. I once asked Igor what the shred knob did, and I can't remember for the life of me. Cannot remember exactly what he told me, but I think, you know, I actually don't know. I think maybe just like a saturation effect. I don't really know. If you guys know, then let me know. I don't really know. No. Not too shabby, not too shabby. Keep in mind, this is an old... I kind of want to go to the EGA for this because I'm using a plugin which the tones are not as familiar to me as they used to be. So let's go with this just so where I know exactly what the amps are giving me. That EGA just making everything sound good. Solid. Okay. That's the Metal 666. We're not worried about the Clean 800, the Clean Angle 530, or the Clean Jazz. Not even worried about the Crunch Jazz right now. Let's go to the Crunch 800. Not a bad sounding Marshall. Pretty much right out of, like, it's not a bad sounding Marshall at all, being that it is a bit older. This is an older plugin. Not a bad sounding Marshall. Definitely want to bring the mids back a bit. Got to make sure I keep the guitar's voicing in mind in this. Let's go to the comments. Never had been offered one for $25K like 10 years ago. And that was an option? You had, I don't even want to know what you do for a living. Firefly aren't a thing over here. To my knowledge, they have a cool looking SG baritone thing though. Yeah, they do. So do you follow Baritone Goat Studio? If you don't, he's a friend of the channel and a hell of a nice guy. Really enjoy talking with him, actually. Super nice dude. If you haven't checked out Baritone Goat Studio, or is it Baritone Goat Audio? Studio. I think it's Studio. Check this guy's stuff out. Doing a lot of fun guitar mods, does stuff about plugins, does stuff with analog gear. He's just a gearhead. He's just got an addiction. You can tell the guy's got an addiction, like many of us do, to swapping pickups and parts on various quality levels of instruments. And man, it's super, super fun to watch his content. So check his stuff out. Crazy ass dude screaming at everyone outside my tile store, and I had to get out there and call the cops. Okay, sounds great. Sounds like the neighborhood I live in. Although today I had with this nice, we have some a building over here with some very nice people with various challenges live in this building. Some elderly as well, and there's a nice man that lives in that building who moves around. He has a walker, and we just had a snowstorm, and he couldn't get through the snow, and had dropped. He dropped his salad. It's like a fresh salad and everything. He dropped all his groceries were on the road, and I saw a bunch of people drive right by this guy, and just drove right by him. And I'm sitting there like, seriously, everyone's just driving by. I'm driving by. I was like, bullshit. He's right on my street. So I pulled over, got his load nice and secured, and got him off the sidewalk onto the road that had been plowed and everything else. And that was actually a rare, nice moment in my neighborhood today. Not a nice moment. I'll not say that his misfortune was a nice moment, but it was a tender moment in this neighborhood, I guess. And this neighborhood is not great, as it's not terrific. I've seen some stuff out that window. Eddie and I have had many conversations about. Something along those lines, or did you be like, "You're dead"? That's the best. That is the best SOD song ever. Never a dull moment out here, man. I understand you. The shred knob vespalates the decomulator. Yeah, absolutely. Vespalates the decomulator. Absolutely. And that is exactly the purpose of the shred knob. Let's turn the shred knob up on this clearer amp. I don't know what that does, but it's good. Wonderful. Wonderful. So this is the Crunch 800. I wouldn't say it's bad by any means. This thing is still hanging in there. I'm not sure by how much, but it's hanging in there. What do we got here with the E530? Okay, seriously? Oh, it's tasty. Whoa! That was a kick in the pants there. Hey, you hear that? Wow! It's just like right in our face. I don't need that kind of aggression. Man. Wow, this thing's cool. I don't claim to be the best guitarist in the world. I'm out here riffing, trying to get stuff to sound good for you guys. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. And this is going to be the end, my friends. Winding it down. All that being said, Rock Rack is still worth the purchase if it's aggressively on sale. It's fun to have around. The clean tones are actually pretty sharp. The drive tones, as you're hearing right here, the lead angle 530. Oh no, I've gone and done it then, haven't I? This thing sounds pretty tasty still. Lots of life left in this. And in my opinion, there are a few good Angle E530 kind of things out there. I don't know that there are many plugins based on it apart from the Mercury Audio version, the U530. That one is based on it. Is that one still free? Probably not. If you missed it for free, sucker. That thing is awesome. And if you didn't miss it for free, go get it for free. And if it's on sale for cheap, you should go get it there as well. Having a great evening tonight. Gonna go watch some wrestling and eat some food. Very exciting. One, and then there was two. If you haven't heard the song Scrub-a-Dub-Dub by Macabre, that's my challenge for you today, is to go listen to the Macabre Dahmer album. It's super fun, chronological order, and it often comes up in streams, but I just love this album. And I don't actually like that much else that they've done, Macabre. Nothing is bad. It's just, this album really stands out as being a truthfully magnificent metal accomplishment. It really is. Superb album. So go check it out. Super unique, eclectic. The singer is absolute bananas. Check it out. That's my challenge for you guys. Also, go and check out, make sure that you do your due diligence. If you don't have Rock Rack, pick that up. And at the start of the stream, the first tap, of course, make sure that you pay attention to the Kobraa release. And if it enthuses you and interests you, make sure you grab it. I know for a fact that a lot is coming from Aurora DSP. Guys, man, I just can't wait to just kind of see this stuff come out and just get to test it. And Daniel often gives us the go ahead before, just like the day before release. So gosh, it's super fun when we get to do that for you guys and give stuff away. Thanks once again to Daniel for being just so supportive of the channel and always just being one of the raddest developers out there, doing rad stuff, doing stuff that's just different, stuff that he wants to do, not stuff that necessarily is, coming from corporate or coming from, fan demand per se, but yet at the same time, they will go out there and say, hey, guys, what do you think would be a good next addition to our plugin series? Do you think we should add a drop tuner or like an octave, or do you think we should add this? Do you think we should add that? Really taking into consideration that what the customers and the fans and the loyal users want to see in further plugins, while also not necessarily breaking your back and bending over backwards, and maybe end up doing projects you don't want to do that you're less stoked about, that don't pump you up. You know what I mean? So I just love what they're doing at Aurora DSP. Thanks so much for being here, guys. Please do check out Mindsinger Guitars. This is my beautiful and beloved Tempest. I'm going to be doing another one of these in the fall with Mindsinger, and for the price, guys, it cannot. I just have the instrument that I'm holding right now feels like a buddy of mine has an $8,000 custom guitar, and it feels that's the quality I'm feeling. I don't feel a bit of difference or see anything different in the build. So do check out Mindsinger guitars, Aurora tone pickups. That'll be showcased a little bit after. Should be getting my Colossus for my RG this week. So that'll be up in a stream coming soon. So watch out and go and check out the incredible finishes on all the pickups at Aurora Tone. That being said, if you decide to order anything from Mindsinger or Aurora Tone, let them know that you came from us and we'll get a discount. There's not just a discount in it for us or anything. It's a discount in it for you. That's what we kind of worked out as being part of this sponsor. There will be a discount or a small discount for you on your purchase just from coming from us. So we'll be getting affiliate links set up at some point in the near future. But for now, if you guys even word of mouth it, let these guys know that you came from us. Daryl and Cody are wonderful people, made in Canada, which at the moment is very important for us up here. All right, folks, a lot of love for this entire community. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here for so much of the stream today. I will be here tomorrow. Don't know exactly when. I may or may. I'm going to say I may or may not. Okay. I may or may not be here tomorrow, but if I am here tomorrow, it'll be something kind of different. I'm going to do something interesting. I'm not really sure. It'll be something kind of more of a tone talk on something. I was thinking about doing an artist tone talk. We haven't done that yet. And going over where we go over a specific artist and all of their tone. We did one for Rammstein a long time ago before it was the Amsim show. So if you guys have an artist that you'd like to see in a tone talk, do let me know and we can kind of go over what it takes to get that artist's sound specifically with plugins and what gear you need, which plugins, which analog gear the plugins are based on, why the sound is the way it, right down to the speakers, the pickups, the strings, and everything else. We will get to it. If there's any artists that you guys would like to see, let us know, or a genre as well. You guys have seen us do tone talk on genres, but never on artists really. So if that's something you're interested in, dang, that would be fun. Okay, guys, I will see you again soon. Cheers, and thanks for being here. See ya.